Handwriting isn't dying, it's already dead. You just haven't noticed the funeral. Somewhere right now, a child is being taught to type before they're taught to hold a pencil correctly. For 5,000 years, if you wanted to think in permanent form, you picked up something and moved your hand. There was no other way. Now there is. And the moment there was, the hand started to go quiet. Picture the first time anyone did this. Sumer, around 3200 BCE. A merchant presses a reed into wet clay, just counting marks for grain and sheep. His hand aches by the end of the day. He does it again the next morning. Within a few centuries, that same aching hand has built contracts, laws, prayers. The first stories we still tell today. The hand came first. Civilization followed it. Then, in 1440, Johannes Gutenberg built a press that could stamp a page in seconds instead of hours. Here's the part that gets left out. Handwriting didn't die. It didn't even flinch. For 500 years, the pen and the press lived side by side. A press could reproduce a letter. It could never write one for you. So why does it feel different this time? Because this time, the machine isn't replacing the copy. It's replacing the muscle. What sits in your pocket right now can finish your sentence before you do. The psychologist Mangen spent years studying brains that write by hand versus brains that type. Students who took notes by hand outperformed typers, not on remembering facts, but on understanding what those facts meant. The hand moves slowly, so the brain has to choose what matters and compress it. Typing is fast enough to transcribe without ever understanding. That's the part no one tells you when they hand a 6-year-old a tablet instead of a pencil. You're not just changing the tool. You're changing what the brain has to do to keep up with it. In 2016, Finland's national curriculum quietly stopped requiring cursive. The United States made a quieter version of the same bet in 2010, when Common Core dropped it for most states. No ceremony, just an absence where a requirement used to be. Within a decade, some teachers found kids who couldn't just write cursive, but couldn't read it either. A grandparent's signature on the back of a photograph, quietly unreadable to their own descendants. Now think about the shape of your own hand, not what it can do, what it's already forgetting. When was the last time you wrote more than a grocery list? Not typed, not tapped into a notes app. Written, your own hand moving across a page for longer than 30 seconds. If you have to think hard to answer that, you're not unusual. You're the pattern. But here's where this story usually goes wrong. It isn't, quite. In 2014, a study out of Princeton and UCLA compared students who typed lecture notes against students who wrote them by hand. Right after the lecture, both groups remembered similar amounts. A week later, the handwriting group remembered significantly more and understood it better. The researchers never claimed typing was useless. Two tools, two kinds of thinking, neither one wrong. That's closer to the truth than a funeral. Handwriting isn't dying. It's shrinking down to the one job nothing else can do. Doctors still handwrite the notes they trust most. Artists still sketch by hand because a pen with no undo button leaves a different kind of mark. Signatures still mean something a font can't fake, precisely because a hand can't fake itself. So maybe the real question was never whether handwriting survives. Maybe it's what your hand is for, now that it doesn't have to do everything anymore. You'll probably never fill a ledger or copy scripture by candlelight. But somewhere, there's still a birthday card only your handwriting can sign. A margin in a book you love, where you wrote one sentence just for yourself. That part isn't going anywhere. It's just no longer required. It's chosen. And maybe that was always the more honest reason to do it.